Hey there. Okay, welcome to week 3 out of 12 of the posture strengthening class. As usual, I'm going to dial it up just a little bit. Today, we're going to do our first full on bird dog. And we're dialing everything up a little bit, so it'll just be a bit more challenging than last week. As always, sensation is good, pain is not good. If you feel like you shouldn't be doing something, chances are you shouldn't be doing it. So I'll leave that, good sense in your hands, and I'll try to teach it as safely as I can. Anyways, as always, I'd like you to lay down on your mat. I'm going to talk us through a body scan meditation just to get our brain in line with doing some hard work, okay? So I'm assuming by now you've laid down. Okay, just close your eyes. Soften your face. Relax your neck and your shoulders, and your back and your belly. Relaxing our pelvis and our thighs, the lower legs, ankles, feet, and toes. Just totally relaxing your body here. If you have any subconscious tensing up of anything, just try to relax it. I'd like you to bring all of your focus now to that spot at the back of your head where you're pressing into the mat. Right up above that bump on the back of your head. That's called the external occipital protuberance, or inion, and it's an attachment of a muscle. But just try to sense that spot right above there that's pressing into the floor. That sort of junction between the floor and the back of your head. Sensing then our whole scalp. Trying to sense our whole scalp. If you can't sense it, try to trace it. Try to sense around it. Okay, coming into the forehead. Sense the forehead. And moving to our temples. Sensing the temples, bringing all your awareness and sensing into the temples. Sensing then our eyelids. And our eyeballs. And then sensing the space behind the eyes. Good. Go ahead and back on out of our eyes. Come back to the temples. Moving downward still, sensing our cheekbones. And moving down still and sensing the corners of the jaw. Follow the jaw to the center and sensing our chin. Moving upwards and sensing the skin below the lower lip. And then sensing the skin above the upper lip. And sensing the lips. Moving inside of the mouth sensing the inside of the cheeks. Sensing the lower row of teeth and the floor of the mouth. Sensing the upper row of teeth and the roof of the mouth. And sensing the tongue. Good. Now going all the way to the back of the mouth and to the sides, go ahead and sense the deep inner ear. And then the outer ear. And then sensing the space on the sides of the head just above the ear. Coming back to the temples. And then the eyes. And then sensing in between the eyes. Follow that downwards. And sensing our nose. And sensing our nostrils. Sensing now deeper in and sensing our sinuses. Backing out of there, sensing the whole face. Sensing the whole face and now the whole head. And sensing your whole body now. Okay, good. I'm just going to get down with you guys, and then I'll talk us through some breathing, okay? Okay, first things first, let's just observe what we're working with. Is it short and choppy, long or smooth, deep or shallow? How would you describe your breath to somebody else? We're going to start to shape it. First, we'll add the pace in. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, with nice smooth transitions from inhale to exhale and exhale to inhale. Feel that cool air enter the nostrils, running down the windpipe and into your chest, filling up the chest, pressing into the spine and the shoulder blades, the upper rib walls, the chest bone, collarbones. As we exhale, feel that air run back up that windpipe to the back of the mouth, and out the nostrils. Let's take it deeper. Cool air enters the nostrils to the back of the mouth, runs down the windpipe, into the chest and shoulders, the spine, and the rest of the rib cage, all the lobes of the lungs inflating. As we exhale, lungs, ribs, chest, shoulders, all relax. Warm air runs up the windpipe to the back of the mouth and out the nostrils. Okay, good. Let's take it deeper still. Cool air enters the nostrils to the back of the mouth, runs down the windpipe into the chest cavity, against the spine and shoulder blades, the lungs, the ribs, and now inflating your diaphragm into the belly. As we exhale, the belly eases, lungs, ribs, chest, shoulders all relax. Warm air runs up the windpipe to the back of the mouth and out the nostrils. Okay, let's take 5 of the very finest here. And then we're going to get into some things. Good. All right. While we're doing the next round of work, we're not always going to have time to count the breaths in our brain or make sure we're breathing deeply into the lobes of the lungs, but just try to make sure that you're constantly breathing approximately at that pace. Okay? Awesome. So let's get started. Let's bend our knees so our feet are on the mat below the hips. Okay, good. Hip width apart, and just bring them as close to stacked below your hips as possible. Your knees, sorry. Okay, our hands by our sides, palms down, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Good. All right, let's go ahead and push that low back into the floor. Knees to chest, chin to chest. First self hug. We're going to have a lot of them. So you can even take note of how this one feels so that when we come to the last one, you can see the difference. We'll have had our WD-40. Okay. All right. Feet come back down to the mat, below the hips, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Push that low back into the floor, flexing our stomach, pulling the base of the ribs and the pubic bone towards each other. The 2 bony landmarks of that muscle, we're drawing them closer together. We're flexing our stomach, pushing the low back into the floor. The back of the neck stays as long as possible. Tuck that chin, the tailbone in, up, forward and up. Good. Base the ribs, pubic bone, flexing that stomach, tucking that tailbone forward and up. Good. Keep coming back to that. Flexing the stomach, base the ribs, pubic bone, tucking that tailbone, bringing your head and shoulders up. Let's retract those shoulder blades so the shoulders are at the end point of a row. Keep flexing the stomach, base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing the stomach, tucking that tailbone, chin into the throat, back of the neck long, breathing, flexing that stomach and lower. Good. Hands by our sides, palms down. Go ahead and lift those hips up off the floor, making as best as we can, we want those knees stacked above the heels, hip width apart. Good. Squeeze your bum. The function of the glute muscles is to extend the thigh bone back. So push those knees into the heels while you're squeezing your bum. Squeeze the bum, squeeze the bum, push the knees downwards into the heels, heels into the floor. Good. Squeezing. Push that right one a little bit more. Good. Keep holding that there. Now push the left one to join. Squeeze the bum. Push those knees downwards into the heels, heels into the floor. Good. Peel ourselves back down. Backbone by backbone. Good. Push that low back into the floor. Knees to chest, chin to chest. Now rocking in circles. Massage that low back into the floor. Good. All right, let's bring our feet back down to the mat, below the hips. Back of the neck is long, knees hip width apart. If you have troubles keeping the knees hip width apart, you can put a block in between your knees, okay? Let's push that low back into the floor, base of the ribs, pubic bone, bringing those two bony landmarks closer towards each other by flexing the stomach. Flex that stomach. The back of the neck stays as long as possible. Despite what we're doing, go ahead, keep squeezing the stomach, flexing it. Base of the ribs, pubic bone, tucking that tailbone forward and up. Good. Lifting up our neck and shoulders. Retract the shoulder blades towards each other. Keep flexing the stomach, base of the ribs, pubic bone, tucking that tailbone, tucking the chin into the throat. Back of the neck stays long. From underneath of that thyroid cartilage, keep breathing, flexing the stomach, chin into the throat, tucking that tailbone, and slowly lower down. Good. Hands by our sides, palms down. No rest for the wicked. Let's bring those hips right up. Squeeze the bum. Squeeze the bum. Good. Pushing the knees downwards into the heels, heels into the floor. Keep squeezing the bum, pushing those knees downwards. Good. Good. Push that right one. Squeeze that right bum cheek. Push that right knee downwards. Good. Squeeze that left bum cheek harder. Pushing that left knee downwards. Heels into the floor. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Push. And peeling back down. Good. All right. Good. Let's push that low back into the floor. Knees to chest, chin to chest. Rocking. Circles. Good. We're about halfway through these. Two more each to do, okay? Let's bring our feet back down to the mat, below the hips. Hip width apart, back of the neck stays long. Good. Push that low back into the floor. Flex that stomach. Pubic bone, base of the ribs moving towards each other. Flexing that stomach, tucking that tailbone forward and up. Good. Back of the neck stays as long as possible. Flexing the stomach, base of the ribs, pubic bone, tucking that tailbone forward and up. Let's bring the neck and shoulders up. Retract those shoulder blades towards each other while we're flexing our stomachs, base of the ribs, pubic bone towards each other, tucking that tailbone. Tuck the chin into the throat by way of the muscle underneath of the thyroid cartilage. Good. Back of the neck stays long. Flexing that stomach. Good. And lowering down slowly. Good. Hands by our sides. Palms down. Let's bring those hips right up. Good. Squeeze the bum. Squeeze it. Flexing it. Pushing those knees downwards. Downwards into the heels. Heels into the floor. Squeeze the bum and try to push those knees downwards into the heels. Heels into the floor. Keep squeezing the bum. Now squeeze that left bum even more. Pushing that left knee downwards. Now squeeze that right bum to join it. Pushing that right knee into the heels. Heels into the floor. Good. Keep squeezing both sides. Pushing both knees. And peeling the spine back down slowly. Push that low back into the floor. Knees to the chest, chin to the chest. Okay. All right. Feet come back down to the mat. Below the hips. Our hands by our sides. Palms facing down. Back of the neck stays long. Good. Push that low back. Oh, this is our last round of these, by the way. Good. Pushing that low back into the floor. Flexing that stomach again. Wake it up. Flex it. Pull that base of the ribs and the pubic bone towards each other. Good. Flexing the stomach. Pull those two bony landmarks towards each other. Flexing the stomach. Tucking that tailbone forward and up. Good. Good. Keep flexing it. Let's bring our head and shoulders up. Retract those shoulder blades inwards and down our backs. Keep flexing the stomach. Pull that base of the ribs down. The pubic bone coming up. Flexing the stomach. Tucking the tailbone. Back of the neck. Long chin tucks into the throat from the muscle underneath of the thyroid cartilage. Flexing that stomach. Flex, 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 flex. And slowly lowering back down. Good. Hands by our sides. Palms down. Good. Let's draw those hips back up. All right. Good. Squeeze the bum. Okay. We're flexing the bum, pulling those knees, pushing those knees down into the heels into the floor. Squeeze that bum. Push those knees downwards. Good. All right. Keep squeezing. Keep pushing. Flexing. Breathing. All right. Flexing that left bum cheek even more than that right, and pushing that left knee down into the heel into the floor. Flexing now that right one to join the left one. Pushing that right knee downwards into the heel into the both sides. Pushing, squeezing, flexing. All right, let's peel it down. Good job. All right. Push that low back into the floor. Knees to chest, chin to chest. Good. All right. Nice work. Okay, we're going to lengthen out, legs down to the bottom, roll onto the right side of your body. Let's place a block under our head. Get that right hand palm down. Left hand can go on the floor in front of the ribs. It's not necessarily going to stay there. Mine never does, but that right hand could stay. Okay. We want to be in between two panes of glass. All right. We're thinking about the base of the ribs here and above that hip bone and the space in between that soft space. We're trying to get our side abs here, okay? But we are also doing our front abs too. Okay, we are going to be bringing ourselves up and down 4 times on each side, slowly, and with a hold at the top for about 5 seconds, okay? Okay, breathing. Good, flex the stomach, find the stomach. Yep, it's engaged. Let's lift those feet and knees up off the floor. Keep flexing the stomach. We got the side and the front, flexing. Keep flexing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Flex that stomach. Make sure you're flexing that abdominal wall. Bring those feet and knees up again. Stomach, side. Good. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lowering back down. Good. Take a little rest. Reflex that stomach. We know how to do that. That's what we've been doing a lot of. Good. Lift those feet and knees up again. Good. Let's make sure. Yep. I feel myself working the muscles. Flexing the stomach. Feeling the side. Yep. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lowering down. Good. One more to do. Let's engage. Flex that stomach wall again. Flex, flex, flex. And lift those feet and knees up. Okay. Let's. Oh, yeah. That's working. This is working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lowering. Good. All right. I'm going to switch sides. You guys can roll to the other side or do what I'm doing. Okay. All right. That block under my head, that left hand flat in front of me, right hand kind of on the ribs, in between 2 panes of glass. Good. Ready to do this? All right. Flexing the stomach, base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing the stomach, lift those feet and knees. Let's check. Oh yes, my right side abs are working, my front abs are working. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lowering. Good. Keep flexing that stomach. Bring it up. Feet and knees. The side obliques. Abs, abs, abs. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And lowering down. Take a little break. Relax everything. Okay, break time over. Engage your abdominal wall. Good. Yes, let's lift those feet and knees. Yes, the side is working, the front is working. Keep flexing the walls of your abs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower. Good. I think we've got one more to do. Okay. Base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing that stomach wall. Good. Flex, flex, flex. Feet and knees. Good. Let's get that there. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And lowering down. I think we have one more actually. Okay. Just relax for a moment. Good. Now engage the abdominal wall one more time. Good. Flexing the abs. Lift those feet and knees up. Good. That side. Yes. Yes. Good. Everything's engaged. We're breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lowering down. Very nice. Good job. All right. Let's go ahead and push ourselves up to seated. Slowly, not using momentum. Good. We're going to sit up on our block. This takes out the use of the hip flexors. Good. Okay, sitting upright, engage your abs. Back of the neck is long. Shoulders, right? Get that right shoulder going. Oh, we don't have to be a full, hardcore abdominal contraction at the moment. It's just to protect the low back at the moment. Okay, that right shoulder. And then that left shoulder. Good. And both shoulders going in opposite directions with the teeter-totter. Good. Alrighty. Alright, good. Okay. Okay, abs engaged. Back of the neck is long, chin slightly tucked. Good. Let's grab that bar. Good. Pull the bar in, retract those shoulder blades in and down, super gluing the elbows stuck to the sides of our body. We're retracting those shoulder blades. If you got that, pop open your hands. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Keep that tension in your upper back. Bring the bar back up. Good. Exhale, pull the bar in, row it in, pull those shoulder blades in and down, engage your abdominal wall, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, pop open your hands. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale the bar back. Exhale, the bar comes in, retract those shoulder blades inwards and down. Abs engaged, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, pop open the hands. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, put the bar back. Exhale, pull the bar in. Retract those shoulder blades. Abs engaged, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Good, pop open the hands. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, put that bar back. Last one. Exhale, pull that bar in, retract those shoulder blades in and down. You're holding a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Good. Super glued. Elbows to the sides of the body. Pop open the hands. We're breathing. Abs engaged. Back of the neck long. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, put the bar back. Let the bar go. Good. Shoulder shimmies and circles. Good. Loosen it up. That was a lot. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and come into our tables. You can put that bar, that brick, that yoga block over to the sides. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is what I get for saving this to the end of the day. Knees hip width apart, stacked below the hips. Hands shoulder width apart, stacked below the shoulders. Soft bends in those Elbows, lower yourself down so you're nice flat back of the neck is long. Good. Okay, don't collapse your abdominal wall. We want that back flat. Good. Let's turn our heads to the right, to the left, and to the right, and to the left. Once more to the right, once more to the left. Okay, come on back to center. Good. Inhale to press the spine, chin and tailbone comes up. Exhale, lead with that tailbone, backbone by backbone, arch that spine. Inhale to press. Exhale, backbone by backbone, arching the spine. Inhale to press one more time, hold it there. Exhale, lead with that tailbone, backbone by backbone, arch that spine, open it up. Good. Come on back to table. Okay, nice flat back, abs engaged enough to make a flat back, elbows bent enough to make sure that we are far enough down, okay? Now let's secure that right hand in its place. Make sure we've got a nice big bend in that right elbow, left hand secured in its place, left elbow with a nice big bend in it, okay? Reaching that right hand forward. Reaching that right hand forward to the front of the room, but pull that shoulder blade down your back. Back of the neck stays long, chin slightly tucked, your abs are engaged enough to protect your low back. Let's draw that right hand to the right side of the room. Good. Feel those muscles in between your shoulder blades working hard to hold up this arm. Drawing it now by our sides, palms facing down, pulling that right shoulder blade inwards and down your back. Keep that bend in that left elbow. Let's draw that right hand back to the front and lower down. Good. Okay, secure that right hand in its place. Nice big bend in that right elbow. Reach that left hand forward. Pull that shoulder blade down your back. The back of the neck stays long. Your abs engaged enough to protect you. Good. Draw that left hand to the left side of the room. Pull that shoulder blade into the spine. Good. Back of the neck stays long. Down. Pull that right hand down by your hips, palms facing down. Engage the muscles that pull that left shoulder blade inwards and down your back. Good. And all the way back to the front and back down. Good. All right. Okay, let's just double check our position. Reach that right foot back. Good. This is about the bum again. That right glute is holding up that right knee. Good. Engage your abdominals to protect that low back. Bends in both elbows. Flexing your stomach while trying to hold up that right knee from the right glute. Breathing. And lowering down. Good. Okay. Let's extend that left leg back. It's all about the left glute holding up the left knee, engaging the abdominal wall, base of the ribs, pubic bone flexing. Good. Back of the neck stays long, holding up that left knee from that left glute, flexing the abs, back of the neck long, breathing, elbows bent. Good, and lowering back down. Excellent. Tuck those toes under, lift the knees up, downward facing dog. Good, we're pushing our hips to the back of the room, relaxing the back of the legs, relax the head. Good, come on back down to table. Actually, I take that back. See, this is why you don't teach at night. Okay, come on back up to downward dog, and let's find ourselves to our standing forward fold. Got it all in my head, you know? Good. Dangling your body, Soft bends in the knees. Good. Let's take a nice macro bend in those knees. Good. Find your chair pose. Good. So abs engaged, base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing that stomach. Use your thigh muscles to help hold you here so there's lots of heat. Good. Back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Retract those shoulder blades. Breathing, flexing those abs, using your thighs, retracting the shoulder blades. Back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Breathing, flexing your abs, almost there. Good, and forward fold. Good, let's walk it back out to our downward dog. And back to table. All the way down to our bellies. Let's lower ourselves down in a plank form so we're not collapsing down. Forehead to the floor, cactus arms. 90-degree angles in those arms. All right. Let's go ahead and retract those shoulder blades. Pull them into the spine. Pull them down your back. Good. And relax. Retract those shoulder blades. Pull them down the back. Flexing the upper back muscles. Good. And relax. One more time. Retract those shoulder blades in and down your back. Push into your hands, into your cobra. Back of the neck long is long. Chin tucked into the throat. Good. Keep retracting those shoulder blades. This is an upper back strengthener. Breathing. And lowering down. Okay, good. All right, pressing that right elbow and right hand into the floor 20% from that right pec, from the front of the right chest. And then the left hand, left elbow, pushing that down into the floor 20% from the left pec, left side of the chest muscles. Good. That's what it feels like to use the chest muscles. So let's put our hands under our shoulders. Engage our abdominal wall. Pull those shoulder blades back and down. Now, from the chest muscles, without losing the flexion of the abdominals, let's push ourselves up to table. Good. And widen those knees, toes together, child's pose. Let's walk our hands and body off to the left. And back to the center. And over to the right. And back to the center. All right, let's come on back up to our tables. Knees hip width apart, stacked below the hips. Okay. Hands shoulder width apart, stacked below the shoulders. Bends in the elbows to lower the body down to make a nice flat back. The abdominals engaged enough to make that nice flat back in that lower part. Good. Back of the neck is long. Okay. Secure that left hand in its place with a nice big bend in that left elbow. Let's reach that right hand forward. Pull that shoulder blade back. extending the left leg back from the left glute. Engage your abdominal wall. Bring the pubic bone, base of the ribs closer towards each other, flexing the stomach, right shoulder blade muscles, back of the neck is long, chin slightly tucked, left glute is holding up that left knee. We're breathing, nice big bend in that left elbow. Good, almost there. Right shoulder blade muscle, left glute, abs, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, bent in the left elbow, and lowering down. Good. Okay, secure your position. Secure that right hand in its place. Nice big bend into that right elbow. Good. Let's extend that that left arm out. That hand reaching to the front of the room. Pull that shoulder blade down the back. Extending that right leg back so that the right glute is holding up that right knee, and engage the abdominal wall. Flexing the stomach. Base ribs, pubic bone, right glute, left shoulder blade muscles, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, bent elbow, right elbow is bent, right glute, abs, left shoulder blade muscles, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, breathing. Good, almost there. Right glute, left shoulder blade muscles, abs, back of the neck long, chin tucked, bent in the right elbow, breathing, and lowering down. Very nice. Okay, good. Let's tuck those toes under, downward dog. Pushing the hips to the back. Relax the back of your legs. Relax your head. Good, let's walk ourselves to our standing forward fold. Good. Just dangling that spine. Relax the back of your legs. It's nice. It's break time. Okay, break time over. Nice big macro bend in those knees. Good. Let's go ahead and bring our hands up. Retract those shoulder blades. Flexing the abs. Base ribs, pubic bone. Flexing the stomach wall. Retracting those shoulder blades. Back of the neck is long. Chin slightly tucked. Breathing. Using your thigh muscles and they're starting to burn, no doubt, flexing that stomach, using your thigh muscles, retracting those shoulder blades, back of the neck long, chin tucked, into the throat from the muscle underneath of the thyroid cartilage, breathing, and fold back forward. Good, let's walk ourselves back to our downward dog. And back to our table. Down onto the bellies in a reverse push-up. Good, cactus arms. Okay. It's all about, most of this class seems to be about abs, the glutes, the upper back, the front of the neck, and lots of other stuff, but primarily those are a lot of the spaces. And this cactus arm locust is a perfect example of that, okay? All right, let's retract those shoulder blades, lift the elbows and hands equal heights up off the floor. Good, feel those muscles in between the shoulder blades, pulling the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Take the bend out of the elbows. Put the bend back in. And lower. Good. Lifting up our heads. We're looking directly below us at the mat. Use the muscle underneath the thyroid cartilage to hold up your head. Good. And lower. Okay, engage your abdominal wall, base ribs, pubic bone from the bum, flexing the bum, lifting the feet and knees up off the floor. Keep engaging the abdominal wall. Good, and lower. Okay, we're gonna try to bring it all together, okay? So first things first, let's retract those shoulder blades in and down our back. Engage the abdominal wall and lifting up the head. Good. Elbows and hands, feet and knees, abs engaged, glutes engaged, holding up the knees, elbows and hands held up by way of those muscles in between the shoulder blades. Back of the neck is long, being held up by the muscle underneath of that thyroid cartilage, the longus colli. That's Googleable, by the way. All right, and lowering down. All right, hands underneath of the shoulder blades. Abs engaged. Retract the shoulder blades. From the pec muscles, we're pushing ourselves up into table. Widening the knees. Toes together, child's pose. Good. Let's walk our hands and body off to the left. You should see me take a left-hand turn driving. Anyways. All right, come on back to the center. And over to the right. Good. Come on back to the center. Okay, come on up to table. And we'll find ourselves to our seats with our legs out in front of us for what I like to call lazy boy. All right, it's based off of, I think it's boat pose, but I'm not yet bringing my feet up off the floor. I'm not there yet. But I do point the toes towards my nose. Good. Hands come in front, retract those shoulder blades in and down your back. Good. Back of the neck stays long, chin slightly tucked. Engage your abdominals, so you might come onto your sacrum, flexing our stomachs. Good. Let the stomach be your guide as far as how far back you can lean without your head jutting forward. Keep pointing the toes towards your nose. Are you feeling lazy yet? Yeah. Okay. Point those toes to the nose, retracting those shoulder blades, flexing the abs, back of the neck long. Chin is tucked. Breathing. We're almost there. You can come out early at any point in time, flexing the stomach, especially if you're losing your form, where your head is jutting forward. All right, come on back up. Good. All right, let's find ourselves to our backs. Bend the knees so the feet are on the mat below the hips. Push that low back into the floor. Knees to chest, chin to chest. Oh yeah, I got my WD-40. That's great. Rocking circles. Okay, let's bring our feet back down to the mat below the hips. Grab a block. Good. All right. Let's grab both blocks. We'll do a double bridge. Okay, so first one, slide it underneath of the sacrum tailbone. Find that sweet spot where you feel like that small of your low back is getting challenged. Opening up that part of your spine. Let's take our other block, place it under our head, right above that ridge and that bump we talked about earlier. And then this will open up that small of the back of the neck. Double bridge. Let's find cactus arms. Oh, this feels great. Okay, just find your breath. The strengthening is done. Now we're just doing a little bit of pre-Shavasana work, flexing some things, stretching some things out. Okay, let's go for 10 more of the finest breaths here. All right. Taking the blocks out. Slowly peel the spine down. Doesn't that feel good? Oh my gosh. It's there for you anytime you want it. Let's find our Shavasana. Try not to shortchange yourself of the Shavasana. It's only 5 minutes. And everybody, shortchanges themselves and skips this part. But it's really important because it's about you existing in time and space without doing anything. And it's also a rebellious act because you're not busying yourself the way and using your phone the way society is trying to create this grind culture. Just take it. And if you fall asleep, I'll get you up, but it's only 5 minutes, okay? All right. All right. Let's add movement, fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, elbows, knees. Rolling to the right side of the body. Now let's push ourselves up using muscles, not momentum. Good. With a nice long spine. Left hand to our heart and our right hand on our left hand. May we understand the strength of our own self. Namaste. All right. Have a great day, night, whatever it is. Bye-bye.